dealing with situations or things that make us uncomfortable can be really challenging and really hard to do. But how do we take those things or situations that make us feel uncomfortable and use them to our benefit? If you want to find out and follow my personal journey and evolution as I share some things with you that make me feel highly uncomfortable, and keep watching, because I'm going to share that with you right now. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. My name is Danielle, and today I'm excited to continue my 3-part series where I'm going to talk to you about getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And as I do this, I'm going to share with you my personal journey on this evolution in showing you 3 exercises that make me highly uncomfortable. Now, if you haven't watched the first video in the series, I will link it below in the description box, and I will put it here above so that you can watch it if you haven't already. I would highly recommend maybe that you go ahead and watch that first and then watch this one, so you can kind of see my progression and my evolution, not only in my physical progress but also in my thought process and my emotions and mental state as I continue on in this process of trying to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Now, I'm just like you. I'm a creature of habit. I like things that are comfortable. I don't like feeling uncomfortable. Now, in thinking about doing this video, I was thinking about a situation that made me really uncomfortable, and I was trying to think back to my childhood, to the first time I really remember feeling really uncomfortable. And one really uncomfortable situation for me in my childhood was gym class or recess. Now, one of the games that we always played at recess or gym class was something called Red Rover. Now, let me know in the comments below if you remember this game, if you did this in recess or gym class when you were a kid. So basically, you have teams, everybody links hands and they spread out so your arms are, spread wide, and then the opposing team does the same thing, and you do this little rhyme where you invite so-and-so, whatever name on the opposing team, to come over, and they have to try and run through and break through your arms. And if they break through, then they get added to the chain, and whoever has the most people in their chain at the end is the winning team. But I'll tell you something, I hated that game because it hurts. It's very uncomfortable when you have somebody trying to run through your arms and they're just running as fast as they can, trying to break your arms apart. I don't like feeling uncomfortable, and that was very uncomfortable. And I remember that I used to almost let go of somebody's hand before somebody would make contact with my arm, just to avoid feeling uncomfortable. Another uncomfortable thing that I encountered in grade school having to do with gym class is dodgeball. Okay, now I know you guys probably remember dodgeball. I hated dodgeball. I just hated getting hit by the ball because it really hurt. I didn't like it, and I would pretty much right away at the beginning of the dodgeball game, I'd put myself in the front lines. I'd let myself get tagged out right away because I didn't want to go through the pain of not only trying to dodge the ball and running around and getting sweaty, but also getting hit with the ball potentially really hard because it hurt and it felt uncomfortable. And I also was just uncomfortable with myself and running around in gym class. So I remember as a kid really going to great lengths at recess or gym class to try and avoid being uncomfortable. And that's really, like I said in my first video, human nature. We do that, and I do see this all the time in the gym. I work as a personal trainer, so I'm at the gym a lot. I'm either with clients, or I'm working out, or I'm just kind of doing things at work, and I'm observing. When I am there, I'm watching people work out, I'm observing, and I really do see patterns. And sometimes I see people come in, the same people, and they kind of go through the same routine over and over because it's comfortable, because they know it, because they know that they can do it with proficiency, and they feel confident and competent in doing that routine. But life can be a lot like a workout regime or workout programming. Over the course of time, if you continue to do the same thing and you don't change anything, you can plateau and you can just kind of hit a wall where you don't continue to see any progress. And I really feel like life can be like that too. We really need to continue to progress, to grow, to get better, to aspire to new and better things in our life and set new goals. And if we don't, we can kind of just plateau in life and go along And over the course of time, we can become very disheartened and really dissatisfied with where our life is because we're not progressing, we're not growing, we're not accomplishing new goals, we're not doing anything really exciting or anything that we really find valuable with our life, and it's really not the way that God intended us to live our life. We are really designed to grow and change and evolve and continue to do new things and set new goals because it's exciting and it really stimulates you and it grows you as a person. It builds your confidence, it builds your competence, and it really stretches you mentally and emotionally and makes you a stronger person. That's what I really think and I really believe. So in this series, I want to just share with you my personal evolution. Now, in this particular video, I watched this footage and boy, did it make me feel uncomfortable because I do not look good. And as I said in my first video, one thing that makes me feel really uncomfortable is working out in front of people, but especially working out on camera and having the video be shown. I remember the first time that this ever happened to me was actually in 2013. I did my very first duathlon, and actually it was really exciting. A sports writer for the Journal Sentinel found out about it, and he followed me through the duathlon, and he took pictures, he took video, and he wrote an article about me, which was really kind of cool. It was my first fitness event, so to speak, and so that was really kind of a special thing that happened. But I remember that when it went live in the paper, that was really exciting, but when I looked at it online, there was video footage of me crossing the finish line, and I wasn't excited about it. I wasn't like really thrilled that I did it. The first thing I thought when I saw the footage of me running across the finish line was, oh, I look terrible. I look terrible running, and I felt so self-conscious. And I thought, boy, I really wish they wouldn't have put that video footage online because I just didn't feel comfortable about it. So like I said last week, I did the exercises on camera that I'm not comfortable with, and I'll recap for you in case you didn't see the first video. The exercises are burpees, push-ups, and jumping rope. Now throughout the week, this past week, I did practice these exercises every single day, and what I found was that initially I was very aware of people looking at me. I was very self-conscious. I was not comfortable, but the more I got into a rhythm, the more I practiced it, the more I became aware of what I was trying to accomplish in practicing and doing these exercises, and I became more aware of my body movements and what I wanted my body to do, and less aware of my surroundings around me and what people were doing and what they were thinking and what they were looking at and whether they were watching me or whether they weren't. And that is one thing. A lot of times I will train people and they've never worked out in a gym and they are very self-conscious. And I always tell them people are more narcissistic than you think, and that's not a negative thing. What I mean by that is that you think that everyone's looking at you, but in actuality they're really paying attention to their own workouts and what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish, which is exactly what they should be doing in a gym setting. So they're not really looking at you, just like they weren't really looking at me. And as time went on through the week, and I continued to practice these exercises and work on them, I did find that I got more and more comfortable just doing the exercises and working on them. I wasn't sure if I was really progressing. Initially, my only goal was to do these exercises and not feel so uncomfortable doing these exercises that I feel I'm not good at in front of people. But over the course of the week, that feeling really kind of dissipated. I felt more comfortable. I got better at these exercises, I believe. You'll see from the footage that I'm going to show you in just a minute that I actually did improve, which was surprising. I just kind of did the exercises exactly the way I did them in the first video, but I practiced them a lot. And one of the things I said in the first video that I really do believe is that one of the ways you get over being uncomfortable is that you practice, you keep doing the thing that makes you feel uncomfortable, whether that is being in social situations because you're shy, whether that is public speaking, whether that is dealing with people that make you uncomfortable, or certain work situations that make you feel uncomfortable, or whatever it might be. The more you deal with that situation, or the more you face that thing that really makes you feel uncomfortable, over time it does get more comfortable, and that's absolutely what I found. So I went into this in the second week just thinking, I'm going to modify it a little bit, I'm going to see if I improved a little bit, and we'll see what happens. So let's take a look at the 3 exercises that make me feel very uncomfortable right now. Now, as you can see in the first exercise exercise, which is burpees. I was able to improve on this a little bit this week. Initially in the first week, I had to have 3 risers because I couldn't touch the ground in my burpees. Now in the second week, I thought I would try it and take 1 riser away, and I was able to do actually 11 burpees. I lost count, so I wasn't sure if I actually did 10, which is why I think I did 1 extra, because I wanted to make sure I did at least 10. So that was really good, and so honestly that was a pleasant surprise. Now let's take a look at the push-ups. Now this one really did surprise me. Now this makes me feel really uncomfortable because, as you can see, my form with my push-ups is poor. It's not good, and the reason that is because I have an issue with my hips because of my disability. What I really need is I need somebody to straighten my hips for me. I have the same issue when I do the plank. I need somebody to straighten my hips out for me so that I can kind of just do them by feel. But I was really surprised with myself and really pleased that I was able to do 5 push-ups on my toes before I had to go to my knees. In the first week, as you might have seen, I did have to do all 10 push-ups on my knees. My goal is to be able to do 10 push-ups on my toes, hopefully by the end of the 3rd week, by next week's video. We'll see if that happens or not, but that is what I'm working on. Now let's take a look at the last exercise, which is jumping rope. Now here you can see that I started and stopped a lot initially. I will say I was really tired. So that had a lot to do with this. The night before I recorded this portion of the video, I really was going on about 4 hours of sleep. So I was very, very tired, and being that jumping rope was the last exercise in the sequence, I struggled a little bit, but I did improve on this too. The first week I got to about 20 seconds, and this week I got to about 45 seconds. So my goal is to be able to jump rope without stopping for a minute. I'm pretty close to my goal with jumping rope, although I did have some starts and stops in there. But again, taking into account that I was really tired because I didn't have a good night's sleep prior. And I guess that's one thing I would say about this process, especially with myself, in realizing as I'm trying to put myself in that uncomfortable place in an effort to get more comfortable, to get more confident, to get more proficient. You have to understand that along the way in the process there are going to be some snafus. Not everything is perfect. Not everything is going to turn out exactly the way you want. Things are not going to line up to be exactly how you wish they would be, and that's just how life goes. That's okay. And you know what? I may not hit my goals at the end of the 3rd week, but does that mean that I'm going to stop trying? Absolutely not. One of the things that I really got as a great benefit from doing these exercises in this 2nd week is that it really caused me to look beyond these 3 exercises and look at and consider some bigger fitness goals that I have, and really consider tackling some things that I have wanted to do for a really long time that I have felt really nervous about and really felt uncomfortable with and really felt like I wasn't ready to do. I now feel like I am ready to do those things, and one of those things for me is starting to run again. I have started to do that this week too. So sometimes when you tackle something that makes you feel uncomfortable, one of the side benefits is you find that it allows you to start thinking about other things that you could also be tackling as well that make you feel uncomfortable, and you start to really broaden your horizons and really look at your goals in a bigger scope, and you start to really realize that there's a lot more things that you might feel uncomfortable about that you could tackle, that you could work on, that you could look at together in tandem with the one goal or the one thing that you felt uncomfortable with in the beginning. And that's really a great thing, and that's really kind of a benefit. The other thing for me that I really found beneficial in this 2nd week is that I was able to really, I think, embrace who I am a little bit more, love who I am a little bit more, and accept my flaws, and accept that whatever happens with this is okay. If I don't reach my goals in 3 weeks, that's okay, because I can keep trying. But it really did encourage me to keep going, and it really did help me to persevere, and I think it really does help you to really mentally push forward, because it causes in you a mental toughness. One of the things that I really noticed also that was really great is that I started really thinking about what it was that I was trying to accomplish, and I really started thinking very specifically about the movements of the exercises, and I became very, very focused on that, and I became very focused on the goal overall. So I think that when you really look at seriously tackling things that make you feel uncomfortable and you really hone in, it can really help you focus on that goal, and you kind of forget that it makes you feel uncomfortable. At least that's what happened with me, and I really feel like it improved my mental acuity and my focus quite a lot. One of the other things that happened as well is I found that the way that I was training myself to get better at these exercises was good, but I don't think it was the absolute best way to do it. So I kind of reformulated. I went back to the drawing board. I thought about how I want to do it. When I look at doing all these exercises and practicing these in the 3rd week, I'm going to look at these a little bit differently, and I'm going to train a little bit differently, because I feel like possibly the way that I was training and trying to get more proficient in these exercises was not the most efficient or effective way to do it, and I really thought about that. So the last thing that I found really beneficial in this 2nd week is I found that it really helped me when I focused on getting more comfortable with the things that make me uncomfortable. Really think outside the box and think about different ways that I want to approach this situation so that I can be more effective and more successful. Now, sometimes you will try things to get more comfortable with these situations or the things that make you feel uncomfortable, and the first thing you try doesn't really work out, or the second thing you try maybe doesn't get you the desired result that you really want. That doesn't mean that it's not working. That doesn't mean that you're never going to be comfortable with that situation or that thing. That just means that you have to really look at what you're doing and kind of maybe broaden your horizons and think outside the box and approach it in a different way. So I do really feel like it helped me sharpen my cognitive thinking skills to think outside the box. So in this last week, I do want to train really hard. I want to be very intentional, very focused, and very specific, and I do want to change the way I'm doing things just a bit to see if it will be a little bit more effective in helping me reach my goals and having success. And then I want to talk to you about the process overall and really hopefully help you really find some ways that you can embrace being uncomfortable so that you can get more comfortable. So you guys, there you have it. That is my evolution and my journey in week 2 of me trying to get more comfortable doing these exercises that make me feel very uncomfortable. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below, is there anything in the past that you've tackled that made you feel very uncomfortable, that you got comfortable doing, or any situations that you handled that were really uncomfortable that you're now really comfortable handling? Is there anything in the future that you want to tackle that makes you feel uncomfortable and you want to get more comfortable with? I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you're not following me there. I do Instagram live streams every single Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I like to connect with you in a more personal way and just share my week with you. So don't forget to follow me there so we can connect there on Saturdays at 9 a.m. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video if you do like it. We talk about all things positive and motivational on this channel. I would love to see you back here, and I'd love for you to join the My Extraordinary Ordinary family. I will see you in my next video, and you guys remember to make your everyday ordinary life extraordinary.